Hello, my name is Jim, and this is my first video that I'm hopefully going to be able to complete and post on the internet. I'm going to be talking about God today, and my topic is, yes, there is a God. I know because He spoke to me. And I'm going to be using a couple props here to help me, and the first one is I got a bunch of papers here to remind me on what to say, and I've also got a jar of marbles here, and also some bracelets that I'm wearing, and these have the words of what God said to me on them. And it's kind of scary for me today to be talking to you about Him. So I'd like to say a little prayer to God for myself. Dear God, please be with me today for my video to speak clearly. Thank you. Amen. And when God spoke to me, and yes, He actually did speak to me, to this day, I'm not really too sure why He did. Maybe it was to come to this day to let everyone listening to this video hear what He told me. And I think God speaks to a lot of people. And I think that they should get out and tell their story also, like I am here today. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of doubters today on my video clip, but I tell you the truth. And how many times have we heard that in the Bible? I tell you the truth. Even Thomas, one of Jesus' 12 disciples, doubted Him when he was raised from the dead. But when he did see Jesus, he said, "My Lord, my God." And then in John 20:29, then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those that have not seen, yet have believed." And I think that is my favorite passage in the Bible, because all of you, they're listening to me, and that you believe in Jesus and you believe in God the Father, you are blessed by Him. Now, the reasons for my video today. Well, I feel that it's the right timing now, with all the bad and evil things going on in the world. And God gave me a wake-up call in 2011. And I'll explain about that experience a little bit later. And secondly, personally, I want to make a recording of this video so that I can pass it on down to my kids, my grandkids, and further on down the line. And most of all, I want to please God and His Son Jesus, to tell my story and to be a witness and a disciple for God. Okay, all right, let's go. I'm going to come right out, and I'm going to tell you exactly the 5 words that He told me. And they are, everything will be all right. That's it, those 5 words. The Creator of heaven and earth said that to me. And please hang in there. I'll tell you the whole story on how that came about. And it did happen back in 1975. But first I'll tell you about 2011. And that's when God gave me the wake-up call. One night in July, when I was sound asleep, I had excruciating pain in the center of my chest, just like I was being stuck with a knife. So the next day, you go to the doctor and say, geez, I don't know what happened. maybe my heart attack or something like that. The doctor assured me that that stabbing pain in my chest had nothing to do with my heart. So anyways, I said, well, I want all the tests anyways. So had the carotid arteries checked, and then after that, you have the stress test, and the stress test did show something, that there was a blockage. So after that test, then I had the angiogram, and that's where they go up through, well, they went through my wrist up into the heart, and I guess they were taking pictures all along the way and everything. And of course they found where the blockage was, and that was in the left main coronary artery, right at the Y. And so they took out that tube and scheduled the open heart surgery. So had the open heart surgery, double bypass, and that was all without a heart pump. So it, real quick, within 2 hours, the heart operation was done. And then after that, you go to cardiac rehab, and then you go see your cardiologist, and I was explaining to him how this all came about, the stabbing pain and everything, and seeing the doctors, all the tests and everything. And he assured me that that stabbing pain had nothing to do with the heart. And that was the second doctor that said that. And I said to the cardiologist, I said, I know. It had nothing to do with the heart. It was God that was giving me the wake-up call and giving me a chance to live and maybe tell my story. So here I am, doing just that, telling my story, hopefully to everyone that is out there listening. All right, back in 1975, and I still remember it as if it was yesterday. I had twins, or we had twins that were born, and but before their birth, their mother had what they call toxemia, and that's a buildup of fluid in the body. And normally, after birth is given, that toxemia goes away. Well, in her case, it did not, and so what happened was they gave her a bunch of drugs. As soon as I took her to the ER, the emergency room, and this was at the Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester, New York. As soon as we got there, they gave her a bunch of drugs, and that was to slow the toxemia down. And shortly after that, the kids were born, but they were born depressed because of all the drugs. So they were immediately shipped to another hospital on the other side of the city of Rochester, and that's, I think, the only place that had an intensive care unit for infants. And of course their mother and the toxemia did not get better. It actually got worse. And to make a long story short, after 3 major surgeries, all within 1 week, and I was going back and forth to the 2 different hospitals, the doctors at the intensive care unit there at Strong said that there was nothing that could be done. She was dying, and I should prepare myself for that. So, feeling beside myself, I had no control of the situation. I didn't know what to do. So I remember it was probably 1 or 2 o'clock at night, and I left the hospital, went down Route 15, which is West Highway Road, going south, and I saw a church there on the left-hand side. So I pulled over into the side street there, and I went to the front door, and late at night the door was open. I walked in and went down to about the middle of the pews, and on the right-hand side sat down, and I started praying to God, to save my wife and to save my two newborns, the twins. And then all of a sudden, the voice came to me. The words were, "Everything will be all right." And wow. First of all, you jump up, look around. There's nobody else in the church. And then all of a sudden, a very soothing and calming feeling came over me. So, of course, I run out of the church, go back to the intensive care unit, and as I'm looking through that picture window, I knew that my wife would be all right. And from that point, she did get better, and so did the twins. All the doctors and the surgeons at the hospital said it was a medical miracle. Well, I said to myself, yes, it was a miracle, but it was God that performed that miracle. Now, God, the creator of heaven and earth, spoke those 5 words to me. And he did his miracle. And it still gives me chills today whenever I think about it. Everything will be all right. He didn't have to speak to me. He could have just done the miracle, and I would have believed that he did do that. So, not only do I believe in God the Father and in Jesus, his Son, I know there is a God. And this is the truth. And I hope you all believe the story of mine. So, that's how I've gone through life ever since. Knowing that whatever happens, you'll have good years and you'll have some not so good years, that everything will be all right. And what I'm going to do is explain what these marbles are, this jar of marbles. Back in 2011, a couple of years ago, my mother passed away. And I prepared this talk for the church, and there was 92 marbles in that jar. And that kind of represented the number of years of my mother's life. And the jar isn't very big, as you saw. And there's a lot of bright marbles in there. There's some dark ones. There's some small ones. There's some large ones representing all her years of life. So life is very short. And I've been living life and trying to do good things. I'm not sure how many marbles of life are left in my jar. Only God knows. And what to do from here. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm being on guard constantly. Knowing that, yes, there is a God. There is also evil in this world. And back 30 plus years ago, I made a promise to God to give up alcohol. You do things that are wrong or bad when you're under the influence of alcohol, and in today's world, it's under the influence of drugs. I always want a clear mind to be on guard. I always try to do good and what's right. Everyone thinks in this world that it's so complicated, but it's not. There's good and there's evil, and there's right and there's wrong. And if you think there's a gray area question, say to yourself, what would God do or say? I love the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I try to be a disciple for God, and I talk about Him often. I support Him financially. I try to do many charitable things, helping others. I put my church in my will, and I think everyone should think about that. And I pray a lot, whether if it's for a friend, a family member, someone that I heard about on the TV or in the paper. I pray for our governments, whether it's the federal government, the state, the county, or the local governments. They all make decisions that affect a lot of people. They need our prayers too. And do you know that on all our currency it says, "In God we trust"? Do you know that in most of our patriotic songs we talk to God? Words like, "God bless the USA," "God shed His grace on thee," "God is our trust," "Oh God, I want to be in that number," etc., etc. But my favorite is "God Bless America." And that's because in this song we are asking God to give us His grace, or give us His blessing, stand beside us, and to guide us. Now let's see here, to get back where we go from here. Number 10, I also listen to God's words through the Bible, which I'm still reading, through church services, which, they're the teachers of God, and also the supreme teacher Himself, God. And He gave us the 10 Commandments. I feel the 3 most important dates of the year to be fully enjoyed: Christmas, when Jesus was born; Easter, when Jesus died and opened the heaven to all of us; and thirdly, your birthday. That's when God and Jesus gave us you on this earth. And we are all children of God. Now, before closing, I mentioned bracelets. And the bracelets have the inscription of the words, "Everything will be all right," in quotes from God. And if you would like to have one of these bracelets, just mail me your name, your address, and your phone number, and I'll send you one free of charge. It will cost me probably $2.50 for postage, within the United States, to mail these. So if you can, if you want to send that would be great. And if you don't have that amount, that'll be all right too. I'll try to, send it and pay for it myself. Now you can mail your name, address, and phone number to mail to myself. My name is Jim Kemp, K-E-M-P, and my address is P.O. Box 181, Livonia, New York, 14487. Everything on this earth was created by God. Everything we are and we have, our health, our family, our money, our homes, everything comes from God. As I've said before, life goes by too fast. So ask yourself, how many marbles are left in your jar of life? I'm just going to say an ending prayer here. Dear God, thank you for giving me this opportunity to be your witness and disciple today. I hope I've inspired many also to be your disciple. Please be with everyone that needs your help, and please give everyone the strength to do good in your name. Amen. Thank you for listening. God bless everyone.